You feel it the moment someone starts ordering you around. A manager pulls rank. A stranger talks down to you. Someone arrogant struts past as if they are simply better than you. And something in you bristles, a hot little flare of resentment you did not choose to feel. We are told to respect authority, to know our place, that a good worker does as they are told. But that flash of irritation when someone lords it over you is not immaturity, and it is not a problem with your attitude. It is one of the oldest political instincts your species owns, and for almost all of human history, it was the very thing that kept anyone from ruling you at all. So why does being bossed around make your skin crawl? Here is the story we are told about power. Humans are naturally hierarchical. There has always been someone in charge, a chief, a king, a boss, and there always will be. We crave strong leaders, we fall into line, and the resentment you feel toward those above you is just envy, or a failure to accept how the world works. It sounds obvious. It is also, for most of human history, completely wrong. When anthropologists actually studied the hunter-gatherer bands that humans lived in for hundreds of thousands of years, they did not find little kingdoms with chiefs barking orders. They found something startling: fierce, deliberate equality. No one gave commands. No one was allowed to rise too high. The idea that humans naturally bow to a boss turns out to be a recent invention, and the discomfort you feel under one is older and far more telling than that. To understand it, you have to look at how your ancestors handled the one problem every group of social animals must solve: who gets to be in charge? Among most social mammals, the answer is simple and brutal. The strongest individual dominates, and everyone else submits. A top wolf, a top chimp, takes the best food and the most mates and backs it up with force. By that logic, human bands should have been ruled by their biggest, most aggressive members. But the anthropologist Christopher Boehm, after surveying hunter-gatherer societies all over the world, found almost the exact opposite, a pattern he called the reverse dominance hierarchy. In these groups, the would-be bullies did not rule. They were ruled by everyone else. The ordinary members, the weaker individuals acting together, kept any single person from rising above the rest. If a man grew arrogant, started giving orders, hoarded the meat, or behaved as though he was better than the others, the group pushed back. Not one person against the strong man, which he might win, but the whole band against him, which he could not. And they had a toolkit for it, refined over countless generations. They would mock him, refuse to follow, talk behind his back, simply ignore his commands. And if he would not be humbled, they could shun him, drive him out, or, in the most extreme cases, kill him. The strong did not dominate the weak. The many, banded together, dominated the strong. For most of human history, equality was not a dream. It was enforced. And the tools they used to enforce it are tools you still carry. The most powerful was simple: laughter. Among many hunter-gatherers, the way you keep a big man from getting too big is to laugh at him. There is a famous account of a group in which a hunter who brought down a fine, fat animal would be greeted not with praise, but with cheerful insults, told the meat was scrawny, a bag of bones, barely worth the walk home. It sounds cruel, but the purpose was a kind of care for the group. By refusing to let the successful hunter feel important, by puncturing any swelling pride the instant it appeared, they kept him from becoming someone who could lord his success over the rest. Mockery, teasing, gossip, the flat refusal to defer, these were the weapons of the many against the strong, and they worked. And out of this came something planted deep in the human mind: a finely tuned alertness to anyone trying to climb above us, and a quiet satisfaction in seeing the arrogant brought low. Your sense of fairness, your itch to take a show-off down a peg, the small dark pleasure you feel when a haughty, powerful person stumbles, none of it is simple spite. It is the ancient leveling instinct, the same one that kept your ancestors free. Still scanning the people around you, still asking the oldest political question there is: who do you think you are? So, if humans are built for equality, Why do we now live buried under so many layers of bosses? Because the ground shifted beneath us. As long as people lived in small, wandering bands with nothing they could hoard, no one was able to gather enough power to rule. But then came farming, and with it something genuinely new: surplus. Grain you could store, land you could own, animals you could count as wealth. For the first time, a person could pile up far more than their neighbors and use it to buy loyalty, hire muscle, and hold on to power that the old leveling tricks could no longer reach. Mockery does not unseat a king with soldiers. And so, in just a few thousand years, humanity slid from the most egalitarian of apes into a world of chiefs and pharaohs, lords and bosses, hierarchies stacked one on top of another. But the instinct did not change with the world. You still carry the mind of an egalitarian band member dropped into a society organized entirely around rank. This is what your resentment of authority really is: an ancient instinct for equality, firing in a world built on a hierarchy it was never designed to accept. The flash of anger when a boss pulls rank, the satisfaction when a powerful figure is exposed and humbled, the deep frustration of being talked down to, none of that is a bad attitude or a failure to grow up. It is the leveling instinct, the same force that once kept your ancestors from ever being ruled, running now inside a worker who answers to layers of people he never chose. We are not built to defer. We are built to resist anyone who rises too high and to band together against them. And a huge amount of human politics, the rage at elites, the joy of watching the mighty fall, the endless tension between the powerful and everyone else, is that buried egalitarian asking why anyone should stand above anyone at all. The discomfort you feel under a boss is not weakness, and it is not envy. It is the oldest part of your political mind, built for a world without rulers, quietly refusing to fully accept the one it was born into. So the next time someone lords their power over you and you feel that old hot flare of resistance, do not be ashamed of it. Recognize it. That resentment is one of the most ancient and most human things about you, handed down from 1,000 generations who refuse to be ruled, who banded together to keep any one person from rising above the rest. You did not invent the urge to resist a tyrant, and you do not fail by feeling it. You inherited it from a world where no one gave you orders, where equality was not a slogan but a daily, hard-won fact kept alive by people who simply would not bow. The boss is not a chief now, and the office is not a band, but the instinct does not care. It is still doing the oldest political work there is, watching the powerful, refusing to kneel, and quietly insisting, as your ancestors did for 100,000 years, that no one is born to rule you.